Welcome to the 12 noon. This is where we get a bit creative today. So if you're here on catch up, I will repeat this in a minute, but for catcher-uppers, if you want to get some stuff ready, you'll need the good old trusty tea towel, maybe 1 or 2 cushions, pillows, somethings. I mean, I've got an old bashed up football, it could be a tennis ball, it could be just an obstacle, a item of your choosing. Have a look around, what have you got? You know I've got a lot of footballs hanging around the house, so I'll just use one of those. And what else did I think that I was going to use today? Let's have a look. Here it is. Look, I've got a wobble. I've got a kind of stability cushiony thing that I'm going to use. If you haven't got one, it don't matter. And also a ledge, a step, something that you can step onto perhaps. And maybe if you don't do it in this movement snack with me, because it might take you a little bit of adjusting, taking your laptop or wherever to the bottom staircase, just have a look. And maybe the next time you meet the bottom of the staircase or a step, you might have a step going up and down into your kitchen, for example, or you might have like the hearth that you could use as a change of level step as well. So a few different bits and pieces. Right, catcher-uppers, if you want to get on with it, fast forward. Otherwise, you may need to hear a few of those instructions again. Right, afternoon, Vivian, Christine, Sandra. Paul, is Paul in with you, Vivian? Now, I've only got quite a small space screen-wise on here. You, in your own living room, kitchen, wherever, might have a little bit of extra space that you can utilise. We're going to do a few moves, and then we're going to put those moves into a little bit of a walking activity circuit thingy. So you'll need a few items. So a tea towel. We could be doing some strength-based stuff with this, or we might just do some toe scrunchy pickups that we did the other day. You might want to grab a cushion. You might just grab a random cup that's been left lying around. I've also got a stability cushion or a wobble cushion. We're going to put some of these underneath our feet and we're going to move our feet around them. We might be picking stuff up, we might be moving things around, putting it back down again. And I've got a football that I might use as well, everyone. So, right, what's been going on in your life? Oh, George, we'll have to wait for the 3, 2, 1. Let me just have a little bit of a look down. Right, Sandra's had enough. She's had... No, she hasn't had enough. But if you've had Stanley for 3 nights, you might be getting to a point. I bet he's really running around now, isn't he? Right, you've collected some red tomatoes. Some of mine have been turning red, I am pleased to report. But I don't think we're going to get a glut of red tomatoes. I think they're more likely to be green. Afternoon, Carol. Afternoon, George. Right, so we're going to do perhaps something that we've done a few times before in these movement snacks. I mean, we have to, don't we? It's all good stuff. But we're going to put and piece some of those bits and pieces together. Now, balance-wise, stability-wise, if you find that you're perhaps not so good on your feet today, or you're having a bit of a day where something's happened and you're not quite feeling as good as you normally do, then you might want to just do smaller bits of this rather than the kind of job lot that's potentially on offer. Oh, Sandra, the 3 nights start today, do they? Okay, breathe and build your strength. Right, here we are then. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. You're with me, Kelsey Leverton, and today is it's the 12 noon on Friday the 22nd of September 2023. Are we ready? Shall we go? Circ boost first. maybe your circ boost could take you around your area to make a collection of some of the stuff that you might use in your circuit. Right, so stand tall. I did mean to put some shoes on. Clearly I've forgotten. Anyway, doesn't matter. I've got my external support. I've got my body in an upright, active posture. I've not got my shoes on, but my feet can still move and my legs can still move into the foot pedal and then into the leg march. Sometimes as well with balance challenges, taking your shoes off might increase the balance challenge because you've got your actual bare feet and they're not supported by the structure of your shoe, but also it helps you to feel and connect a bit more with the floor. So equally, there are always kind of some pros and cons with stuff. Lift tall, hip walk forwards if you're not there already. That's a lift and a shift of your bum. Walking, travelling forwards out of the back of the seat. You've got a decent space behind you now. Let's bring in arm swing. So elbows tucked, moving from the shoulder. But you might want to add that second arm in straight from the off, or you might in standing. If you do need your external support continuously, just switch from one side to the other, as we always do. Not a massive height through your knee lift, but just enough room to kind of get the feet actioning underneath you and just have a little bit of an extra push from the ball of your foot. We can all just pick up and put down our feet, but can we push? Can you see the little bit of a difference from that, which is slightly more flat-footed than that, where I'm just boosting off by the ball of your foot a little bit more. Okay, take some deep breaths in and out as you march away. The temperature gauge is of course going to be lifting, and you're warming up. You're breathing a bit deeper to get a bit more oxygen on board, and your heart rate's following suit. It's not breathing deeper, it's beating perhaps a few beats per minute faster. Steady yourself down. Take a pause. You might want to just organise yourself. I need to organise me middle bits here. And that should do us for our circulation boosting. Now, a few moves that we've done maybe last week, this week as well. We did some one leg stands, but we travelled from one leg to the other. And in standing, you might need a bit of length of external support. To challenge your balance, we need to feel a little bit unsteady. So it's okay to feel your ankles twitching around a bit, your body shifting, your legs, your hips shifting as well. So let's take our first step in to a one leg stand. Hold it there for maybe, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 seconds if you can. And throughout that time, see how you feel, and see if you can add an additional challenge by lightening, loosening, or possibly letting go of your support. And then step through into the other leg. Here in seated, we're going to be lifting the leg and then putting it back down, and then lifting the leg again and then putting it back down. Now we're going to add something slightly different here with our one leg lift. We're going to take it to the side, but keep the foot lifted off the floor, and then track it back in, and then lift it up, open the hip to the side, and then track it back in. So we've got a bit of a seated option with an extra bit of hip work there as well. Have your hands at the side of your seat to stop you from slumping, or just to promote your upper body posture a little bit more. And there we go, that's your first move. We will revisit some of these when you stand-uppers get into your little circuit thing. Now, we also did this the other day. This is our, it can be a tea towel toe scruncher. So if you're in seated, and some of you in standing might prefer to come into seated for this, sit tall, lay your tea towel down, maybe put one foot or both feet onto it, and you can do a toe squeezing, scrunching movement, which is held for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then relax, release, and spread your toes. Same with the other side. Or you might want to do both together. So squeezing, lifting, arching the instep, and back down again. You can of course do that in standing if you want to. And then we've got a small squeezy pick-up movement that we can do. So maybe just step off your tea towel, have a look down. You might want to keep looking down throughout all of this, and with some external support, squeeze and pinch the tea towel, and then pick it up and reach it down. It doesn't matter which hand you reach down with. From there, a bit of a knee bend, drop it back down again. Approach, squeeze, scrunch, secure, lift. And again, you're coming onto the one leg lift there, one leg stand. So that could have an effect on your balance. In seated, you might be more coordinated to do a right leg pick up and a left hand retrieval, because then you turn your knee out a little bit as well, and then just toss it down to the floor again. And then a left foot pick up with a right hand retrieval. The other hand can be wherever, or it can just be down by the side of you. You might lean back a little bit, and then that will give you a bit of support behind you. So have a look down. And you've got an opposite foot to hand kind of reaching action there, reaching and lifting. Okay, so from there, if you would like to grab one of your pillows or cushions or something like that, we're going to do some knee bending. Now, knee bending, you can do multiple positions here. Sit your bum back, weight going evenly through the legs, bit of external support, or the seat height that gets you having the support a little bit lower down might be better for your shoulders. Stand up, and you might want to put just a small stepping round action there. Now, my movement might be a bit fast for you. You might need an extra stand tall and a pause here before you change the level of your head, which sometimes can make you feel a little bit giddy or dizzy, and may well challenge your balance. So you've got your external support and extra pause before you go to the other side. Here we are then with the seated option. Hands on the knee to support. We're going to be flexing forwards, but sit tall first. Lean, flex forwards. This is from your hips rather than rounding through your spine. And then sit back up tall again. Reset. You might want to pick it up with the same hand or the opposite side. You might want to place it into the middle, or you might want to place it down to the side of you a little bit more. And then your reach in action, lifting out, leaning forwards, and going from there. Now, stepping actions over an object. So sit tall, stand tall. Get your object down to the floor. If it's in the middle of your feet in seated, you might want to go a bit wider. And then you'd bring one foot across, step that over, and then come back the other side. You might need a bit of extra hand support at the side of you. So you've got a good knee lift there so that you're clearing what's underneath you. You can do that in standing. You might need to have a look down just to check out the width, the height, and gauge how much you need to lift your foot and legs from there. So stand tall, maybe have a glance down, use your external support. If it's quite a wide cushion like this is, you might want to pause with your feet apart before bringing the feet back in together. So that's a decent height of knee lift, followed up by another decent height of knee lift and an easy adjustment there. Forwards and backwards stepping over stuff. So picking up the front leg, shifting the weight forwards, and then picking up the heel as if you're kind of passing through a one leg stand there that we've been practicing. Turning around, I'm not going to step backwards over my item because I want to be able to see what I'm stepping over. There's the leg as it lifts up, kind of passing through that one leg stand position as well. Okay, so we've got a few of those going on now. Let's see what we can do with the bits and pieces that we've used and the moves that we've used as well. I'm going to leave that on the floor. I'm going to bring my wobble cushion in. I'm going to bring my tea towel in as well, and I've got options of external support all around to use that as well. If you're in seated, you may want to do a few hip walks forwards and backwards. You may want to do a few side steps, 2 or 3 side steps, and use some of the objects that you've got that we've just used already. So here we go. Right, I'm going to start off with a knee bend and a pick up. I need to reposition this. I'm going to reposition it with my other hand. There's the knee bend down again. Now I'm going to step over it, picking up that second leg. Still got some external support. Feel your foot moving. Okay, so we've gone, well, I've gone onto the wobble cushion, off of the wobble cushion to get my balance again, turning around, approaching my tea towel. Here's a bit more external support for me, and I'm going to use the other leg because I want to go opposite hand to foot there because my external support's there. I'm just going to take a steady turn around, chuck that back on the floor, turning around, gripping again, and bringing the opposite hand to foot in that sense as well. Right, okay, so I'm standing side on. Let's do a pick up, and I'm going to go back because there's no room there. Take a steady turn around, come into the middle. Some people, Willow's trying to call me. You can make a bit of a square out of it. And now I'm going to tidy everything up using my knee bends and de-obstacleify the area. How's that for you? Okay. Tea towel toes. So you've kind of set yourself up there for a few repeats. I mean, that could be something that you do maybe as you pass through your living room, or maybe as you pass through your kitchen. I don't know. It depends what you want. Do you want But do you want little cushions and pillows and tea towels on the floor at all? But there's how you can do a little bit of something, but then progress it on, perhaps into something a little bit more different. Different but the same. Does that make sense? Sort of. All right, everyone. That's me done. Bex, are you home? Or are you still in transit? George wants us to work out how many miles we've done between us in the last 3.5 years. I reckon we should just work out how many minutes we've done on circ boosts. I think that might be a little bit easier. Although maths for me is never easy. Anyway, everybody, keep on crowbarring. You know it makes sense. Bex, are you in at 4? Let's have this chat elsewhere. I'll let everybody get on with their afternoon. Ta-ra for now.